Hello.
Ahoy!
Welcome to Bottom of the Stream, episode 3.
Episode 3.
3 episodes in. How do you think it's going so far?
It's been good.
Yeah?
I really enjoyed Bait,
I really enjoyed Bait. I really hated the open house.
but I kind of enjoyed the experience of the open house, even though I hated the film.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So, Bottom of the Stream is a new podcast dealing with things that people and nobody are talking about on Netflix.
How many things are on Netflix? So we've watched 3 things so far.
There's not as many as you'd think. There's, I believe, just under 6,000.
Okay.
Including TV shows and films.
So we've got quite a few to go then.
Yeah, we've got a long way to go. That being said, are you ready to dive in to the stream?
Let's set sail. So yes, today we are talking about await further instructions.
Yeah.
So we've done an American film,
We have.
done an Australian film,
You have.
and we're now doing a British film.
A British film, a British Christmas film. Now, does this film settle the debate of Christmas films? Because there's a huge debate on Christmas films.
This isn't a Christmas film.
This isn't a Christmas film. This, in the same way that Die Hard isn't a Christmas
Correct.
film. Thank you. I'm glad we agree on that. Die Hard is not a Christmas film. It is a film set at Christmas.
Die Hard came out in July. It's not a Christmas film.
Exactly. Await Further Instruction is not a Christmas film. It is merely a film set at Christmas.
Christmas is a plot device to get this family together.
That's basically all it is.
That's why it's a Christmas.
That's what it is. So, as we always do now, this has become a tradition. What is your one-word review of Await Further Instructions?
I hadn't thought about it. Licorice.
Licorice?
Yeah.
Because it's all sorts.
Well, partly. I think reasons will become clear at the end.
I can't do one word. I've got to do 2 words.
Go on.
Batshit crazy.
Is that?
This,
Oh yeah, that is 2. Oh.
yeah, batshit's one word.
Yeah.
This film's fucking mental. There's no other way of describing it than insane.
Yeah, it lurches from something to something else,
Still
doesn't it?
Can't quite believe what my eyes saw when it watched it. So before we start talking about it, go and watch it. If you've not already seen it, go and watch it and then come back to us and we will start talking about it, because you're going to want to have seen this one before you hear us talking about it, as you're going to think we're a pair of crazy idiots.
Yeah, I think it would be really... I mean, it's always interesting to hear your feedback on what you think of these things, but in particular, it'll be good to read some comments on about this one.
Definitely. This is... I can't put over enough how mental this film is. I really can't.
So, shall I set up
If you could, yeah.
the premise? So, we are joining this family on Christmas Eve. Our lead character is Nick, played by Sam Gissins, and he is bringing his girlfriend home for Christmas. His girlfriend Angie, played by Nurja Naik.
Nurja Naik. I'm going to go with that. I will agree with you there.
So, this will come into the plot. Nick is bringing his Indian girlfriend
I think that's fair
back to his very traditional, very white, quite racist family.
Yeah, white, middle class, racist family. The family that's bringing them back to are mum, dad, granddad, and sister's boyfriend.
Correct. So, it's mum and dad's house. Granddad, I believe, lives with them. That's kind of what I
That's implied, I think. Granddad played by David Bradley.
Yes.
Who is a massive name to get in a film like this.
Yeah. Filch from Harry Potter.
Yeah, he's been in everything you can possibly think
Doctor
of.
Who. He's been in Doctor Who.
Yeah, he's been in
hasn't
Doctor Who. He's been in all sorts of things. He's in that new thing with Ricky Gervais, which is right at the top of the stream this week.
Yes, Afterlife.
Afterlife with Ricky Gervais is in that. That's as top of the stream as it gets. At the moment. We're nowhere near that. We're right down the bottom.
Yeah, there's no way that qualifies for being reviewed on this show. Yes, so the family comes together Christmas Eve. Nick brings Angie along with him. It's instantly obvious that he has issues with his dad.
Yeah, he seems to be quite estranged from the family. He doesn't.
Yep.
I don't think he's been there for a long time.
Yep. That is sort of implied as well.
Yeah.
Before I say any more,
Yeah.
I've just got to point
Go
out
on.
what freaked me out about this film.
Yeah.
The main character is called Nick.
Yeah.
That's my name.
That is your name.
The dad's called Tony.
Whoa, I hadn't even noticed that.
That's my dad's name.
Whoa. That's crazy.
So it took me a little while to get over that. Especially how weird this got.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But that's not as mental as this dad.
No. There's an argument, isn't there? Almost straight away. So David Bradley's character, the grandpa, is a massive racist. He's making comments all the way through about, your kind of people coming back here.
He's not hiding it in the slightest.
No, not at all.
He does not care what he says.
And the sister, Kate, isn't much better.
No, she's a horrible, horrible human.
The whole family is horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
They're horrible.
They're horrible people.
Nick and Ange are obviously very sympathetic characters.
Yeah.
The mum's okay. I'll come on to them. I'll talk about the mum in a bit because I've got a couple of things I really want to.
The daughter's boyfriend isn't bad, but
he's stupid.
He's stupid and he's very easily led by the dad of the family.
All of these characters, they're not well written. They've all got a single character trait.
Yeah.
And so boyfriend, stupid.
Yeah.
Sister, Kate, she is vain, selfish. She comes in, hugs Gramps, takes a selfie instantly. You know that's going on Instagram.
Yeah, definitely. She's one of those. The mum's very mumsy. She just wants to keep
so
everybody
she's a total
happy.
wet lettuce, isn't she? She's got nothing about her whatsoever. She's not a strong leader of the family. And that's what I wanted to point out about her. Basically, I just think it's an awfully written, weak character.
Yeah,
the dad is stiff upper lip, obviously mistreated by his own father.
Yeah, his dad's a bully.
You've seen these characters time and time again in loads of different films. I think generally the actors do alright with what they're given, but all they've got is this one trait for their character, and then they've just got to go totally overboard with it.
Yeah, just take it to the extremes.
Really work for me. So they have the argument on Christmas Eve. It really upsets Ange, and her and Nick decide, look, let's just go to bed. We're going to get up really early when everyone else is still asleep. We'll head off. We'll go back to our place.
Yeah, we'll go home.
We're not spending Christmas with these guys.
No.
They're all knobheads.
They are all knobheads.
Yeah. I can see why Nick's not been back home for several months, if not longer.
Time. Now, before they go to bed, there's a news story that keeps appearing on the TV of random stuff that's going on in the town.
Yeah, there's like power surges being reported.
Yeah, this is stabbed at some point.
Yeah, so this is in the background as the grandpa's watching TV. So there's power surges reported, and then there's
Shaun of the Dead vibe. It was just like news reports going on in the background. Nobody's really paying any attention to them.
Yeah, there's a stabbing that takes place, which turns out is down the road in their local shopping precinct, and the news is saying it's a inverted commas a terrorist.
Yeah, which triggers the granddad to go on one of his rants.
Yeah. So Nick and Ange wake up in the early hours of the morning. They sneak downstairs. They are enacting their plan. They're going to get out there, go and enjoy their Christmas on their own. Go to open the front door, and they can't get out because it's blocked.
There's something blocking the front door.
How would you describe?
Metal contraption?
Yeah.
So
almost like tubes.
It's like
tubes of
thin metal
licorice.
Yeah, licorice. I see now, I get it. I get your word of the review.
So they then try the windows, same stuff's covering it.
Yeah.
Go upstairs, same stuff covering
it. The whole house is covered in these tubes, which is completely stopping them getting out of the house.
Yeah. Can't force the way open. Nick grabs an axe, doesn't he?
Yeah,
goes straight out with that. That wakes the mum up, whose name's Beth. She comes downstairs. Dad comes downstairs, and they realise they're not getting out.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere.
They're trapped.
Yeah.
They're prisoners in their own home.
Phones don't work.
Can't
get on the internet.
No, computer doesn't work.
No, correct. But the TV is on.
The TV is on. And the TV has a display that says await further instructions.
It says stay indoors and await further instructions.
So they do. So the dad at this point feels like that this is a government message.
Yes.
That they've taken over the airwaves and something has happened in the world that requires everybody to stay indoors and watch TV.
Yes, they're basically, there's been some sort of attack and everyone's on lockdown. That they're basically, they think they're in quarantine.
Yeah. Which I think is a fair assumption to make at this point. If this happened to you, you would probably be thinking the same thing. It's the logical conclusion to jump to, I think.
I suppose so, yeah.
in an illogical situation, it is the logical conclusion.
Things don't go well for the dad in this film, Tony.
No.
But straight away, even before shit started to go down, he sort of takes Scott, so Kate's boyfriend, aside, and he basically gears him up for this. You stick with me. Whatever
whatever
I need
I
you
do,
to
you've
back
got
me
to
up.
Yeah.
And he wants to sort of take charge and show he's the leader of this family, which I don't think he's ever been able to do with his own dad, who still sort of verbally abuses him, even though he's this little old man sitting in his
He had a
armchair.
nickname for him. What was the nickname?
Squelcher.
Squelcher. Called him Squelcher, which is a great nickname.
Because he pissed the bed when he was young. So what you can do, it's Christmas Day, they've got all the food in the house.
They might as well have a Christmas.
Sit down and have Christmas dinner. What else are you going to do when your house is wrapped in licorice?
Yeah.
And this was my favourite bit in the whole film.
Okay.
So they get into another argument while they're having Christmas dinner. Can you remember what David Bradley's character says? So he starts having an argument with Nick.
Yeah.
And he says, this, so he's talking about Angie. He says, your girlfriend's got you wrapped around her little finger. I can tell you're completely cunt struck. That finished.
Yeah.
That was gone. I was laughing for a couple of minutes. I'd never heard that before.
I've never heard that one before.
It was just out of nowhere. Absolutely out of nowhere. Apologies for the C-bomb, but it was a quote.
It's fine. I'm not going to blank it out. It's too much work.
So they're about to tuck into their pigs in blankets.
Yep.
Message on the TV.
Oh, yeah, it changes.
All your food is contaminated.
Yeah. Wow.
Eat nothing.
That's quite a threatening thing to get on your TV as you're about to sit down and eat Christmas dinner.
So at this point, I'm thinking, this is interesting.
Yeah.
This
I was all in on this point.
This is intriguing. This is something really, what's this film going to try to say about the power of media and the TV and the, it being a new god or whatever, a religion type thing. And I was really intrigued to see where this would go. And the messages go on from there. So they chuck all the food away.
Yeah.
They're then told to decontaminate themselves and wash themselves in bleach.
Bleach. Yeah, use bleach.
So there's a bit of reluctance to do that. Obviously, it's weird. Yeah, but they all go with it. They all do it.
They start bleaching each other.
You pay good money for that in some establishments. Yeah, David Bradley sits on the toilet and bleaches his balls.
Yeah. That's interesting. I wonder when he read that script what he thought. I was in Harry Potter, now I'm bleaching my balls.
Yeah, bottom of his stream. But then things go up a level. So the next message, before the next message turns up, a package falls down the chimney.
Oh yeah.
And it's 6 unmarked, unsterilised syringes filled with something.
And she's a nurse, so she's very reluctant at this point to go anywhere near them.
She is. As would anyone who, with a vague knowledge of hygiene, blood diseases, and
you don't even have to have a knowledge of that. You just know that unsterilised, unclean needles are bad for you.
The message on the TV then reads, use trial vaccination kits. The atmosphere is polluted. This was quite a good scene, actually.
It was, yeah.
And it was probably the best acting as so far there was in the film. So there's this debate about,
do we do it?
Because you can imagine this is the sort of thing I find creepy.
Yeah.
Not that it's a realistic thing, but you can, so the dad injects himself.
Straight in, yeah. He's not, no questions. He's convinced the government behind this. And
he's going to obey exactly what's on that TV.
Yeah.
They then actually do sterilise the rest of them, boil some water. And Scott, because he's been told to follow the dad, so he injects himself. Gramps does it. Mum, a bit more reluctantly. Kate, very reluctantly.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if we've mentioned this.
I don't think we've mentioned it.
She's pregnant.
She's heavily pregnant.
Heavily pregnant.
The sister, that is heavily pregnant at this point.
Yes. So...
Is it just weeks away? I think that at some point they say it's
2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks away, yeah.
I thought for a second she wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
I thought Nick had won around. But no, she does it. Then Nick does it. And Ange does it. I didn't quite... That, because of how...
Yeah.
What happens later and how... Not obstructive, but how... Against, this argument between the family, I thought they folded a bit quick.
Yeah, they did.
That didn't quite sit right with me. David Bradley, so Gramps, he immediately...
Terrifyingly...
starts convulsing, spews up a load of blood.
Black, tarry liquids. And
he's gone. He's
done.
dead.
He's done. He's out of here. That's the end of his film.
He is dead.
You've got to bleach your balls, but then you can die in the next scene. It's fine.
Yeah. that introduces all sorts of panic, obviously.
Yeah, obviously everybody goes crazy because they've all just injected themselves with the same serum.
But Tony, the dad, he's stoic, and he says, I think that we've injected ourselves and we're safe, and he's old. He was an acceptable loss. This character is really interesting, but not necessarily in a good way.
Yeah,
because he was that blinded and following the messages on this TV. It didn't. Again, I'm not looking for realism here, but he didn't feel like a real.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Person.
It was doing whatever that TV told him to do at this point. He would have done it.
Yeah, and it was like straight away. He was at that character arc. He was at 11. Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, he was at 11.
Yeah.
From the start, and it almost felt like it was a parody character at points, and that didn't quite work with the tone.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it came across almost like a politician type. No matter what my party's telling me to do, I'm going to do it. It was a very weak-willed man, but also.
But there was no development. It was straight in.
He was instantly going to do whatever the TV told him to.
And that kind of ties into what I was saying earlier. It feels like they were given these characters, their characters, because they are underwritten. It's just, well, this is the trait of your character.
Yeah,
he's stubborn and he's
going to do it.
And that was it.
Yeah.
There was no nuances to any of these.
No, not really. Everybody had their own position and they were sticking by it. Even Angie, to an extent where she was completely opposite. She was completely the opposite. She was going to do she wasn't going to do whatever the TV told him to do.
And these, I think, in comparison to what we've seen in the couple of episodes we've done before with the other films, these were probably the best actors that we've seen.
Yeah.
But the dialogue was bollocks in this film. It was really badly written. There's a good idea in this film, and we'll talk about how the plot develops, but the dialogue was shit.
Yeah, well, it was a great premise written badly. I think is how you describe it.
Scott, so he gathers up the syringes that he's told to, the TV tells him to post them back through. There's like this slot, isn't there, in the licorice?
Slot near the letterbox.
Return the syringes, so he does that. He can't help sort of getting his fingers in the like licorice vagina. That's kind of what it looks like, isn't it?
I've never thought I'd hear you say the word licorice vagina. But yeah, they do. It's exactly what it looks like.
So he puts his fingers in and snap, they're gone.
They're gone.
He's lost 3 fingers.
Literally cut straight off. There's no like...
Yeah. Which is very much the start of his downward spiral.
In other words, don't try and get out of the slot because we're going to chop your fingers off if you do.
Yes. So quite a bit of time has passed by this because one of the characters, sorry, I'm not sure which character it is. One of them says, "Oh, what a way to spend your Boxing Day." So we've now been trapped in there for over 24 hours.
Am I wrong, or was there a warning on the TV when he put his hand through the letterbox?
Yeah, I've got that. So it did say access slot contamination.
Yeah. So,
i.e., don't shove anything in the hole.
So basically, we know now
good advice.
They're being monitored completely.
Yes.
There's a sentient being behind this somewhere.
So the next message says, if one of your number is infected, isolate them.
Yeah, it doesn't tell them which one.
No. So it instantly reminded me of The Thing, that classic Kurt Russell film, John Carpenter in the 80s. Yeah, there's no nuance and again in trying to work out who it is. No, it's immediately we're putting the Indian girl in the bathroom.
Angie. We're gonna isolate her in the bathroom.
Obviously, Nick's.
Was she in the bathroom?
Yeah, I think. No, it was a spare room.
It was a spare bedroom because she finds a TV later on.
So they've already wrapped up Gramps. They've stuck him in there, so they bung her in there as well with him. There's no debate. It's her straight away.
Yeah,
because
Nick's
they are
not
all
happy about it, but
complete racists.
Yeah, basically, they're middle class British racists.
Nick and Ange form a plan, so they're obviously still talking to each other, sort of through the door. So he waits till everyone goes to sleep, and he goes and turns off the TV.
Yes.
Which I'm still on board at this point. I'm not sure where this is going, but it's intriguing.
Yeah, go for it.
Again, within the confines of this film, that's a logical thing to do.
Yes.
That's the plot's, it's going. We're going somewhere there. So he turns off the TV. He meets his sister on the stairs. She goes upstairs. She says something like, "I've got to go to the toilet before I start gushing everywhere. Otherwise, an unnecessary use of the word gush, to be honest.
There's never a good reason to use the word gush.
So he takes the opportunity to unplug the TV. And that's when an alarm starts going off straight away. Brings everyone back out of bed downstairs. Obviously, the dad's going, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is our only lifeline." Plugs the TV back in, and it says, "Warning, interrupting emergency signal puts lives at risk." So things get physical here. So Scott and Nick get into a brawl. They brawl sort of halfway up the stairs, then they get to the top of the stairs. Dad's getting involved.
Everybody's getting involved trying to break it up.
Kate's getting involved trying to break them up. And, she gets kind of elbowed / shouldered out of the middle of this brawl between Scott and Nick. She takes a tumble over the banister. She takes a real bad bump. She hits the deck, doesn't she?
She hits the deck hard.
Snaps a leg.
Snaps a leg in half.
Bone through
the skin.
Bone through shin.
It's not good when you're pregnant.
No.
It's not good when you're not pregnant to
Quite.
break your leg like that. But yeah, she's in a bad way from this point onwards. She's now got a broken leg and no way to resolve that situation.
Yeah, so in the midst of the panic, they get her onto the sofa. Nick's kind of trying to take charge. We've got to do something. Trying to get her comfortable. Yeah, it's the old get the hot towels.
Yeah,
water towels. Scott's gone at this point.
Yeah, so
he's gone loco.
Yeah, he's gone mental.
He's gone into shutdown. He's not helping out. He turns to look at the TV and the message changes and it just says "I see you."
Interesting.
Which is again just pretty creepy.
Yeah,
I'm
still completely on board.
It's getting a bit ridiculous.
It's getting ridiculous, but at this point, it's
the
fine.
Injury and stuff. But it's
intriguing to know where it's going at this point because it's interesting. It's something completely new and different.
And then this next bit happens, which also made me laugh a bit like the the C-bomb earlier, but this was an unintentional laugh, is when the dad suddenly goes, in the midst of all this crisis...
Yeah, this was crazy.
And this is what I talk about, the dialogue in this thing being absolutely awful. He just stands there and says, "Well, I'm going off to work in my study because I'm a very busy man and I've got lots of work to do."
Yeah, it just disappears upstairs into his study. He's just...
I don't know what they're trying... I know they're trying to display that this guy has been mentally broken, but...
It came across as ludicrous.
It does not work.
It does not work. It came across as absolutely ludicrous.
And I think this is about where the wheels started to come off a little bit for me,
yeah,
to be honest.
There's a point in this film where it turns mental, and I think that's probably it.
So the mother, she suddenly pops back up. She decides she's going to talk directly to the TV. She breaks down.
Yeah.
Which again, I've not really got a problem with.
The TV's proven to
please help us.
Yeah.
My daughter's pregnant. She's hurt herself. Please send help.
There's obviously somebody watching them and communicating with them via the TV. So it's not a mental thing to do. Is talk to the TV. Somebody's obviously listening.
Nick goes back up to Angie and describes sort of what his sister's leg looks like, and she instantly says, "Wow, sounds like she's got sepsis."
Nasty.
So Kate, it's not looking good for Kate. So as things calm down again, Nick decides, "I've got to look see if there's a way out."
Yeah.
So he goes up into the loft, pulls back the sort of felt. The licorice is still there.
Again, it's another thing. I think you would do it. I think
he starts tearing the house apart.
He's
the only one who's doing
trying to get out
something.
Yeah.
He's not gone to bits. He's at least he's trying to. I thought he was pretty good in this film.
I agree.
Sam Gittins, I was not familiar with him before, but he did a good job in this film.
From what he was given, he did do a good job. I agree. He's been in a few things.
Both him and Ange were. I was reasonably impressed with them. That's I would probably say of the things we watched so far, those two were probably the two best performances in any of the three films we watched so far.
Yeah, I mean. He's more of a TV actor. He's been in a few episodes here and there of different things, but this was his big break, and I don't think he's quite made it. But
so he finds basically he does find a little chink in the armour, so he manages to chip away at the plaster sort of by the U-bend in the bathroom.
Yeah, by the toilet.
He puts his phone on a stick with a bit of duct tape, turns the camera on.
He goes all 18 on it.
Yeah. Manages to get it through the wall. And records a bit of video, which is sort of blurry, spidery, licoricey.
Yeah, there's a kind of great big spidery thing on the wall outside.
Yeah. And it kind of makes a lurch for the
He lurches straight
for
at
the
his
camera.
phone, but he manages to get it back in. So he's now got this video footage on his phone of
But breaching the
whatever's
perimeter
outside the house.
sets off the alarm again.
Yep.
A message on the TV which says, "Survivor must not breach perimeter," which obviously that's what brings the dad back out of the study.
Yep.
He again goes to town on Nick. They get in a fist fight. This time, Scott and Tony subdue Nick, tie him up in the study, and for the second time in 3 films, we've got a torture scene on our hands.
It's becoming a recurring theme in our quest to find these hidden gems.
Yeah, so the message again changes on the screen to, it says extract information from sleeper agent. So yeah, you've now got this point where Tony, the dad, is torturing his own son.
Yeah.
And is asking him questions like, how long have you been in the cell? And, he still thinks there's some sort of terrorist thing going on.
Completely turned himself against his own son.
Just as he's about to take his son's eye out with a screwdriver, the mother screams, and it turns out Kate's died.
Kate's died.
So the sepsis did not hang around. So she is dead. She's still pregnant.
Now it goes batshit crazy.
Yes.
This is the point now where it goes mental.
So Scott has kind of come round a little bit, seen a bit of sense. So Scott and the mother free Nick, and at the same time, Ange, who's still in the spare bedroom, managed to use nothing more than a coat hanger.
Yes.
To sort of get behind one of the fibre optic / licorice strips, pull it up, and you then cut to like the sort of fish lens view of it looking at her.
Yeah, it was like almost like fibre optic cables.
Then she finds another TV.
She does. Little portable TV from the 90s.
Yeah, she plugs that in. It says, "I see you." She pulls the back off, and then we don't see what's in the TV.
There's implied that there's something in there.
Yeah.
But both of the TVs in this film are from the 90s, by the way.
Neither of them cathode tube.
Yeah, neither of them have got flat screen plasmas or anything like that for some bizarre reason.
The TV then downstairs says there's a security breach and they're activating the quarantine. So gas then starts to filter into.
They had mentioned earlier on that there was like pipes through a couple of the windows in the house, which they assumed was oxygen coming in.
Yeah.
Wasn't.
Exactly. Nick manages to get Ange out before the gas totally takes over the room. Unbeknownst to them, Mum's in the bathroom.
Mum's gone in the bathroom.
And they do not get her out.
They do not get her out.
And she gets exploded.
She gets turned inside out.
It's that fog that turns you inside out from The Simpsons.
It's exactly that fog from The Simpsons. She explodes all up the glass bathroom window, door window. It's her third death of the film.
So we're back in the living room again. So we've now just got Nick, Ange, Scott,
and Tony.
Tony left. Nick goes to smash the TV, and then we get a load more messages quick. It says, "I am reborn. I bring salvation." And then Tony, so he looks above the TV, and there's a cross that the family's had there all this time. And he obviously jumps to the conclusion that the TV might...
I can't believe you're going to say this, but you're going to...
Might be indicating the second coming of Jesus.
At Christmas.
At Christmas.
Yeah.
They turn around, and Scott notices that Kate's stomach moves.
Oh my God.
The baby is still alive in a dead mother.
Dead mother.
And it's a Jesus baby.
I cannot believe this is happening at this point. I'm like...
At this point...
The minute he looked up at that cross, I was done. I was like, I cannot believe this is going to...
Again, that made me laugh. That made me howl. Yeah. And it was absolutely not the intention of this film.
Not at all. It was...
And,
This isn't even as ludicrous as it gets.
No.
There's only like 5 minutes left of the film and it gets more ludicrous.
At this point, my interest has gone. No, it's gone. I've gone from, well, this was quite intriguing to this has lurched into, I have no idea what we're coming into next.
It was crazy that it was such, not a good film, but not a bad film. And
there was a good idea there, wasn't there?
There was a great idea here. And there is, without a doubt, a great premise to this film. And then this just happens at the end and you're just like, what a shame.
The TV then says, "Make a sacrifice to save the unborn." Dad goes for Ange again because he's still racist. They get into a scrap. Scott gets killed by Tony, the dad.
Yeah.
In the melee. Ange then wipes out Dad with a vase or something like that. So he's knocked out. Nick pulls the TV over, drops it on his dad.
Just like in Scream 2.
Yes, sparks everywhere. The TV drops open.
Yep.
So you see what Anne saw upstairs in the other TV. There's like this beating, licorice heart.
Yeah. Like a pulsating beam.
Alien-y, gooey, stringy, black licorice thing.
Yeah. This is happening. Go on.
That starts coming out of the TV. Meanwhile, all the covering of the house starts winding its way around. So this covering that's been keeping them in all this time suddenly is like alive.
It's like tentacles now.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's like it's supposed to be the wires, isn't it?
Yeah,
but it's
the electricity's taken over the world.
Yeah. So these wires then they're not only sort of going after Nick and Ange, they make their way over to the dad and insert themselves into him.
Yeah.
And you end up having this reanimated licorice dad.
I can't believe this is happening.
Chasing Nick and Ange round.
So he's got them in his face, he's got them all over his body, but they're basically pulling at him and...
Yeah, making him talk.
It's like a human puppet.
He's like a puppet, yeah. Because the TV smash, this being is now speaking through him, and he says, "Worship me, or face your extinction." And that's kind of the last you see of Nick and Ange.
Yeah.
You think that maybe they're going to make a break for it, but no, they basically get absorbed, don't they?
Yeah, they kind of get swallowed up by it.
Yeah.
I don't think they make it out alive.
No. It's almost an off-camera demise for them, isn't it?
Which is a shame, because they were the main two characters in the film, but...
Then the best bit of this whole film happens next.
God, I can't believe this happened. I cannot believe this happened.
The licorice thing slides over to Kate's dead body, and
I can't believe you're going to say it.
It slides over her, and then as it moves over her dead body, it pushes over her. All that's left is her skeleton.
Yeah.
With a perfectly formed, very clean, obviously quite older than newborn baby,
just lying in the rib cage area
of its dead, deboned mother.
Yeah.
And the licorice dad sits back down in his seat. The being brings the other TV down from upstairs, and it switches on. There's lots of nice, pretty lights, and the baby is just watching the TV.
Yeah.
And again, the TV says, "Worship me," and then you cut back to the external shot outside the house, and you can see that the licorice monster has enveloped the whole neighbourhood. Yeah. And I think we're led to.
I think you've got to assume the whole world.
The whole world.
I mean, this is the post-apocalyptic film. I think.
And that is it.
That
TV has taken over the world. This alien, or is it an alien being that has used TV?
Yeah, I think it's a sentient electrical alien being.
Who saw that coming?
Nobody. No fucker saw that coming. I
know I've really belaboured I don't necessarily want this podcast to be we go through every plot point.
I think you have to in this film.
But this film is so wacky.
It's absolutely.
A lot of that just happened in the last 20 minutes as well.
Yeah. Until the last 20 minutes, it was a perfectly good, intriguing thriller. And then from the minute he puts his phone out through the toilet, it can't even... Batshit crazy is not even a description. It is... I've never seen anything like it. I'm putting it out there. I've never seen anything so ludicrous as the end of that film.
It made no sense.
I'm not going to say I hated it, because...
No, I'm not quite there yet. But again, it just lurched from one thing to something completely different, and it didn't flow.
No, it doesn't flow, and it is... There's a crux of a really good film in there somewhere. The premise behind it and the idea of it is fascinating, but then it just becomes what it becomes. I don't have to recap what you've just said, because I can't believe you've said most of it. But if they were going to go for that though, I would have wanted the writers and director. Fuck it, we're all in on this. Yeah.
But you've got an hour of quite tightly, atmospheric creepiness, and then 20 minutes of a different film.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, it's absolutely what it felt like. The ending is insane, but like I just said, I'm not going to say I hated it because there's a decent film hiding in there somewhere.
I enjoyed it. Did I enjoy it?
Yeah, I think you can say
I know I did
it.
enjoy it. I enjoyed it because this was nothing like what I would have expected.
No, that was not completely not what I was expecting.
And it's good to be surprised.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it a good film? I don't think it's a good film.
No, I don't think it is a good film. But it isn't a bad film.
I think it might be a bad film.
Do you think it's a bad film?
Yeah.
It's certainly not terrible.
I think it loses...
The ending
I think it loses
so
a lot
insane.
of its goodwill that it had built up with me.
There are people out there that will enjoy this film.
Oh, yeah.
There are definitely people out there that would enjoy this film. Is there anybody you know that would enjoy this film?
You.
Other than me? No, I don't think so. I think as far as random film tastes go, I think from the people we know, we're probably the two that the best.
I think if you started watching this film, you're going to want to see it through to the end. Because that first 45 minutes to an hour is intriguing. You're not going to... I don't think I know anyone who'd turn this off halfway through.
No, I don't. But also, I don't know anybody who's going to expect what they're going to get.
No, but that's
It's just,
if I think some of, I don't know, say some of Stephen King's really batshit short stories.
yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, there's definitely a kingness to it.
It's not something too dissimilar from there.
No, you're right.
But that probably works a lot better in, like I say, in a short novella or short story.
Yeah.
You can. But
I
this
agree
is
with that. You could see that it was, if it was written by Stephen King, there'd be some merit to it. Maybe it's exactly the sort of thing he would write.
But this is, it's just, for me, it just lurched too much, and there was too many, I've sort of mentioned there was too many unintentional laughs that took me out of the tenseness that it had built up at various points. And I know maybe it does sound too picky, but that, because they took me out of those points several times in this film, it happened 3 or 4 times, that's why I don't think it's a good film.
Yeah, okay, I would go and agree with you there. IMDb have it at 4.8 out of 10. Do you agree with that?
If I was marking this out of 10, yeah, I'd probably give it a 4.
We're not going to go with ratings and things, but I'd probably go a bit higher. I might go 5, maybe 6. But it's I can't put over how mental it is. I really can't.
You're going to talk about it. If you're watching this with a few mates or whatever, you're going to be talking about it for half an hour afterwards.
This episode of this podcast is going to be the longest one we've done so far by a good 15 minutes. I'm sure of it.
So I think I would say check it out because it's weird and different.
Yeah, definitely. If you've got to this point in the podcast, you've probably already seen it at this point. So let us know what you thought of it. I'm still completely open-minded by it. I can't say I hated it. I can't say I loved it. I don't really know what I thought of it, to be honest. But
I enjoyed watching it. I wasn't
expecting.
I don't think it was a good film though. The dialogue was awful.
Yeah, the writing was terrible. Like I've said all the way through, there's a good premise in there, but it wasn't pulled off.
But if this podcast gives us an opportunity to watch weird stuff like this,
yeah,
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, we said we wanted to find the hidden gems of Netflix. We didn't necessarily say they were going to be good. This is a hidden gem that's on Netflix, but for very different reasons, and it's a good film. It's
a dirty gem that requires a lot more polishing, but it's...
I'm glad I've seen it. That's how I describe it. I'm glad I've watched this film.
Okay, fine.
I'm glad I've seen it. I feel like my life's better for seeing it.
Do you think is this the best thing you've watched out of the 3 episodes so
Absolutely
far?
Not. No? Bait by far is the best thing we've watched so far.
I know that's a bit like comparing apples and oranges, but
it's definitely second, because the first one was diabolical. Okay, so that was await further instructions. Are we ready to pick next week's film?
Yes.
Yeah, are we ready?
100%.
So I've got the app again because we got rid of the box. There's still, I haven't had anything since last week. Have you?
No.
So
I think our 20 odd or high 20s is enough for fine.
So here we go. I'm going to press the button now to choose the next week's episode. And it is called a film called I Think We're Alone Now.
I like Tiffany, like the Tiffany song from the 80s.
It's the Tiffany biopic.
It's not, is it?
I hope so. Let me just find it. Interesting. So, I Think We're Alone Now is a 2018 film starring Peter Dinklage, Elle Fanning, Paul Giamatti.
This sounds very mainstream for our little...
and Charlotte Gainsbourg, and they are the only 4 people credited on IMDb. So,
I've heard of all of those people.
I will read you the synopsis. The apocalypse proves a blessing in disguise for one lucky recluse until a second survivor arrives with the threat of companionship. I'm intrigued.
Ooh,
I'm definitely intrigued.
is it stated as a drama, comedy?
It is stated as a drama, mystery, sci-fi.
Oh, okay.
So between now and next week, get that watched. We will watch it as well, and we'll be back next week to discuss it.
Cheers!
See ya. Thank you. Bye.